I found the reminder about what's important actually quite emotional. You know, in your telling of it. Mm. And actually it made me feel a bit ashamed as well, to sort of realise how far disconnected, you know, I feel from how important water is. Mm. You know, I tell the tale to my kids about the Mad Max movie being like, you know, my picture of what world would be like if we aren't respectful of water, but I don't know that I'd taken it as much to heart.
Yeah. It's very difficult for us to take it to heart because we're never eased into situations where we can, because it's not valued. So, but I remember on one occasion, another occasion when they loved to poke fun at me, really, and indeed others, but I seemed to be the main focus during these first years. At one point we sat around the table and one of them started sniffing, and like bad smell, you know, and we sat round. He continued sniffing and then somebody else starts sniffing, and I'm sort of looking around and can't smell anything, you know, and then they're all sniffing and gradually their eyes are turning to me. And I'm feeling, I used to get this feeling when I know something's coming, you know, oh God. They're extremely challenging and confronting in the way that they taught. And one of them said, you know what? What, says one of the others. I think I smell a believer. A believer? Yeah, I smell a believer. We don't like believers. And I was thinking, a believer. And then one of them says, Mac, are you a believer? I said, well, I guess I believe in, you know. No, Mac, surely not. You're a believer. And what it came to is they find it incomprehensible that we have, as it were, religious and spiritual traditions that involve belief. They said, why belief? What about experience? You know, why believe in something? Does that mean if somebody more intelligent than you comes along and just shows you that belief's crap and that what you believe in, then where do you stand? They said, no. They said, listen, you don't have to believe. They said, when you really get this, you're going to feel a wonderful sense of relaxation. They said, you don't have to believe. Come outside. And we stood there, great endless range of mountains and valleys and trees, and he said, look at that. What do you see? What do you see? I said, hills and mountains. It's very beautiful. They said, what you're witnessing is creation. We think that if you opened your eyes to what you are witnessing now, you would be on your knees sobbing, because you're witnessing creation. And you are part of it. We always were part of nature. Nature is not something out there. We are nature. You are witnessing creation. There is no need for belief. If you want to go and dive in that lake and feel her cool, tender caress of your body, you can do that. If you want to go and sleep under that tree. And they said, oh, by the way, I love this bit. They said, if we're right, Gautama Buddha, when he received enlightenment, was sat under a Bodhi tree. Is that right? Yeah. I think so. So yeah, interesting. When Muhammad received his information, we think he was sat inside a cave. Yes. When Jesus went into the wilderness, he went out into the desert. When Moses got the 10 Commandments, he went up a mountain. They said, why is it that nobody ever talks about the role of the tree, the cave, the desert, or the mountain in all this? Because we think that it was our earth that was speaking to these people. We think that was what we should have ended up. We wouldn't call it Buddhism, we'd call it treeism, or we'd call it something else, you know. They said, and yet we end up talking all about Buddha, but what about the tree? Don't you think trees are important, Mac? But I like it, you see. Because when we talk about sustainability, no one can contradict my love of blue sky and rivers and trees and our nature. When we go on holiday, we don't look at a brochure saying, what is the most ugly, evil-smelling place I can find and go there? No, we chase beauty. Most of us, we chase beauty. We go chase beauty and then we go and trash it. But it is beauty that we want. We don't mean to trash it. That's just because we're so unconscious of what we're doing. But we chase beauty. Beauty is life. And you don't have to believe in it. It just is. I believe, truly believe, in our communities of leaders, we have to start talking like this, see. We have to start talking like this. Women and men, we have to talk like this. We have to understand that we are always actually talking about love and children and everything that makes life worth it, and don't give a toss whether it's Vodafone or BT or any of these other companies, PwC and all the rest of it. That's what we have to talk about. And that is what I will talk about because I made that promise. So I go into those forums and this is what I talk about. And you know what? They don't kick me out. Because they are, first and foremost, fathers and mothers, uncles and aunts, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters. And I remind them of that. And then they're ready to think differently. Anyway, I really appreciate your attention. And I'm very happy to be here and appreciative to have been invited. So I guess we should have some lunch.
So I think since the feeling is entirely mutual, I feel like you've the way I'm experiencing this sort of lack of dialogue. There's not a verbal dialogue, but there's like a deeper dialogue somehow, and there's something you've taken us to a very reflective, very moving place, I think, and it's quite a nice thing to take into lunch. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.